Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Quarter Racing Update here, the fourth of our special edition shows, and this one coming to you from Remington Park here for the Quarter Racing Update for Oklahoma Speed Fest Day here at Remington Park. 12 races on the Sunday program as always, but they're highlighted by three specific races, including a pair of co-features here. First race that'll kick off Oklahoma Speed Fest, the $50,000 FL Ladybug Stakes for accredited Oklahoma-bred 2-year-olds that will go 330 yards. And then we'll jump into the co-features here today, the $50,000 Easy Date Handicap for Oklahoma-bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, set to go 350 yards. And the co-feature on today's race, race 11, will be the $50,000 Jack Brooks Stakes, a restricted Grade 3 event for Oklahoma-bred 3-year-olds, set to go 350 yards. And right now we have a look at a few of the top contenders in this year's restricted Grade 3 Jack Brooks Stakes. Feature race Spotlight is sponsored by Oklahoma Equine Hospital. The second place finisher in last month's Mr. Masterbug Handicap will start at today's Jack Brooks Stakes, and that is Slua's Success. Jockey David Pignon will have the call for trainer Eddie Willis. Louisiana Corona has taken to Remington Park, having won 2 of her last 3 starts here at the Oklahoma City track. Trained by Luis Villafranco, she was an impressive winner in her last race, a 350-yard allowance seen here with G.R. Carter in the irons. He'll once again ride Louisiana Corona again today in the Jack Brooks. Lano Cartel has won 3 races this meet at Remington Park. His best stakes performance came in the Grade 2 Bob Moore Memorial in April, where he finished 3rd. His last outing was a score in a 110-yard allowance race. Don't blink or you're going to miss it here. It was the blink of an eye purse on April the 28th, breaking from post number 2. Lano Cartel picked up the score in the 110-yard allowance race. Multiple stakes placed. Feature Hero ran second in the Remington Park Oklahoma Bred Derby to the outstanding Brace 4 Bernal. You'll see him on the inside there. His resume also includes a 4th place finish in the Rainbow Futurity last year. Trained by Eddie Willis, Feature Hero will have the riding services of jockey Jimmy Brooks. A winner of 5 of 6 trips to the post is PYC Can't Catch Me. Best known at Remington Park for his tally in the Remington Park Oklahoma Bred Juvenile Stakes last year. He went in as the top qualifier in last year's Heritage Place Futurity, but was scratched after a fractious episode in the gate. PYC Can't Catch Me is trained by Judd Curl, and once again, jockey Rodrigo Vallejo will have the call aboard PYC Can't Catch Me. And speaking of the 2012 Heritage Place Futurity, the winner of the $1 million event last year was BP Cartel's Alibi, seen here breaking from post number 4. He will go postward in today's Jack Brooks Stakes. While he hasn't lit the board since the Heritage Place triumph, including a 4th in the Mr. Masterbug, Larry Payne will pick up the assignment on the Trey Wood trainee. 3-year-olds bred in the Sooner State set to go forth in the restricted Grade 3 Jack Brooks Stakes, a $50,000 event. And the feature race Spotlight has been brought to you by Oklahoma Equine Hospital, with rehab facilities that include an underwater treadmill and a cold saltwater spa, with 2 locations off of I-35, one at Land Road and the other at Oswalt Road. And ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we were hit with a severe storm here in the Oklahoma City area, specifically in the Moore area. And in the past few days, we have learned that some of our horsemen have been affected by the tornado that came through the Oklahoma City area. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers have been with us, but you can now help out with the Horsemen's Tornado Relief Fund. Secure online donations can be made via PayPal. You can use your credit card without a PayPal account. It is not necessary. You can check out the links that we have listed for you right there at facebook.com/OklahomaQH or you can check it out on facebook.com/RaceViewNetwork. You can check out the links at either one of those 2 sites, or you can mail checks directly to the OQHRA at P.O. Box 2907, Edmond, Oklahoma 73083. Please make the checks payable to the OQHRA Benevolence Fund with 2013 tornado listed in the memo line. Going to head to a quick break now here on the Quarter Racing Update, but coming back on the other side of the break, we'll take a look at a few of the top contenders in today's Easy Date Handicap.
Quarter Racing Update Remington Park is brought to you by Racing Association, Speed Horse Magazine, Juniors of Oklahoma City, by Racing Free, and by Oklahoma Equine Hospital.
An official representative for horsemen in the state, the OQHRA administers race, benevolence, and scholarship programs, all to better the state of racing in the state of Oklahoma. Visit OQHRA.com.
Speed Horse Magazine, the industry's most widely read and respected magazine. Complete coverage of quarter horse racing and industry events. Sponsor of the Speed Horse Race Series. Visit speedhorse.com.
Racing Free is dedicated to acknowledging and rewarding the great people in racing who are racing free. In an effort to eliminate the use of performance-enhancing drugs, Racing Free offers incentives for all industry participants. Visit racingfree.com. Race for Bernal won the $250,000 Remington Park Derby in April. Then, he and jockey Paul Nieto set the fastest qualifying time for the Grade 2 Heritage Place Derby, run next Saturday at RP. This Thursday, Paul Nieto visits the Quarter Racing Update live at 4:30 p.m. Central on RaceviewNetwork.com.
And don't forget, fans, to catch us here on the Quarter Racing Update this Thursday at 4:30 Central. Dale Day will be back to host with a feature on the Heritage Place Derby coming up here as we approach closing weekend of the 2013 meet here at Remington Park, speeding through the season here, and they'll be heading toward an action-packed closing weekend. Dale Day will be back here on the Quarter Racing Update this Thursday to preview the Heritage Place Derby. Be sure to join us at 4:30. We're taking a look at the Jack Brooks Stakes, part of the co-features here on Oklahoma Speedfest Day. Now it's time to take a look at the fillies, and we'll take a look at the Easy Date Handicap in our featured race, our co-featured race for Oklahoma Speedfest. The feature race spotlight is sponsored by Oklahoma Equine Hospital. Dalt's Gunnin' for Success may be an outsider here in the Easy Date, but the lightly raced 3-year-old has 2 wins from her 3 outings. She ran a good second in her last race, a 330-yard allowance seen here. Trained by Jackie Kirby, she'll have her regular rider, Albert Madrano, on board in the Easy Date later today. The winner of the Mr. Masterbug Handicap is in the Speedfest co-feature, Cool Wave, number 5 in the center of the track here. Held off a challenge from Slew of Success to take the April 21st test. Cool Wave, trained by Jose Aguilera, will have rider Raul Gutierrez in the irons today. Send Me a Candy Tree from the Clint Crawford stable is a tough competitor and one of the richest horses in the Easy Date. She won her last start, a 350-yard allowance, back on May the 9th, seen here, with G.R. Carter aboard, who will once again have the call today on Send Me a Candy Tree in the Easy Date Handicap. The multiple stakes winner Cruisin' the Wagon ran 7th in her last race, the Mariel Remington Park Distaff Challenge 2 weeks ago. But before that, Cruisin' the Wagon was 2nd in the Grade 3 Decada Stakes seen here. Cruisin' the Wagon, known by many for her performance 1 year ago on Oklahoma Speedfest Day when she set a new track record in the 350-yard Jack Brooks Stakes. Trained by Eddie Willis, Jimmy Brooks will ride Cruisin' the Wagon, the morning line favorite in today's Easy Date Handicap for 3-year-olds and up, accredited Oklahoma-bred fillies and mares, set to go 350 yards in the $50,000 event. Spotlight, sponsored by Oklahoma Equine Hospital, with rehab facilities that include an underwater treadmill and cold saltwater spa. 2 locations off of I-35, one at Ladd Road and the other at Oswalt Road. So we've seen a few of the contenders here for the Oklahoma Speedfest co-features, the Jack Brooks Stakes, and we saw there the Easy Date Handicap for fillies and mares. Coming back after this short break, it's time to handicap. We'll take a look at a few of my top selections coming up in the co-features, the Jack Brooks Stakes, and the Easy Date. Stay with us here on the Quarter Racing Update.
Speed Horse Magazine, the industry's most widely read and respected magazine. Complete coverage of quarter horse racing and industry events. Sponsor of the Speed Horse Race Series. Visit speedhorse.com.
An official representative for horsemen in the state, the OQHRA administers race, benevolence, and scholarship programs, all to better the state of racing in the state of Oklahoma. Visit OQHRA.com.
Somewhere there's music, I'll faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven, how high the moon. There is no moon above when love's far away too, till it comes true. Love you, love me, as I love you. Somewhere there's music, I'm near and far.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for this week's segment of History's Fastest Athletes, brought to you as always by worldsfastestathletes.com.
History's Fastest Athletes is sponsored by and produced in conjunction with Speed Horse Magazine. Deceptively, a 1990 Bay filly, was bred and raced by Texas horseman Roger Knight Jr. She was from the first crop of Runaway Winner and out of the multi-champion producing mare Femme by the thoroughbred Raise Your Glass. In her first outing, a trial for the Kansas Futurity, the Ruidoso crowd witnessed a 4-length victory, deceptively stopped the clock at 17.37 seconds, a speed index of 100, while setting the fastest qualifying time. Coming back 2 weeks later in the final, she quickly broke on top, and while under a tight hold by jockey Jerry Yoakum, finished a length and a quarter ahead of her closest rival. Her final time of 17.22 seconds broke a long-standing track record at the New Mexico track. Next out for Deceptively was her trial for the Rainbow Futurity. She crushed the field by 2 lengths and set the fastest qualifying time to the Grade 1 final. Facing the future All-American Futurity winner, as well as a recent world record setter, Deceptively broke on top, never looked back, and won by nearly 2 lengths. After her domination of the first 2 legs of the 2-year-old Triple Crown, Deceptively sat out of the All-American Futurity. At year's end, she was honored as Champion 2-year-old filly and Champion 2-year-old. The word in many racing circles was that her racing career was over, but Deceptively came back at 3 years old to win the Grade 1 Rainbow Derby by an amazing 1.5 lengths after putting 2.5 lengths on the field right out of the gates. She retired later that year with earnings of $297,000 and the admiration of all who saw her perform. With her incredible speed and domination of her competition, Deceptively became a member of the exclusive club of History's Fastest Athletes.
Speed Horse Magazine, the industry's most widely read and respected magazine. Complete coverage of quarter horse racing and industry events. Sponsor of the Speed Horse Race Series. Visit speedhorse.com.
Welcome back to the Quarter Racing Update. We hope you enjoyed that segment of History's Fastest Athletes, brought to you by Speed Horse, and you can always check out History's Fastest Athletes on worldsfastestathletes.com. You can check out that particular segment there on Deceptively, who was quite a runner on the racetrack. Deceptively a champion 2-year-old in her own right, so be sure to check out that History's Fastest Athletes on worldsfastestathletes.com. You can get that segment and all the others we've had here on the Quarter Racing Update. Time now to handicap here the co-featured races for the Oklahoma Speed Fest Day here at Remington Park, part of a 12-race card here today. Going to take a look at the 10th race, which is the co-feature here today. That's the $50,000 Easy Date Handicap. It's for accredited Oklahoma-bred fillies that are 3-year-olds and up. Daniel Bryan not here to join us today, but we're going to take a look at a few of the top contenders here in this field. Set to go 350 yards, a $50,000 purse for this state-bred restricted race. Top choice for me is going to come from number 2, Cool Wave. It was coming out of the barn of trainer Jose Aguilera. This horse won the Mr. Masterbug last time out. You're going to take a look at the picks here coming up in just a few minutes. But anyway, Cool Wave was first last time out, beating out the likes of Sluick Success and Send a Candy Guy. Prior to that was third in the Decada behind the very talented Black Rosalita. And that's the thing when you're handicapping these races here at Remington Park. It's always good to look and see who these horses have been running against and what kind of competition they've been running against. And so far this year, Cool Wave has been running against the top horses, not just in the state of Oklahoma, but in the entire country as well. So Cool Wave, definitely one of the top contenders. She's got a great record here at Remington Park, having 2 wins and 2 third-place finishes in her 5 previous tries over the racetrack. And the distance, 350 yards, much to her liking today. She's never been worse than third in 3 starts. So let's take a close look at number 2, Cool Wave, as the top choice in the Easy Date Handicap, I should say. Second choice is going to come from number 4, Send Me a Candy Tree, coming from the Clint Crawford barn. We saw this one earlier in the preview of our top contenders in the Easy Date. As coming off a pair of back-to-back victories coming into this race, G.R. Carter will once again climb aboard for trainer Clint Crawford today. She beat out the likes of Catch and Fire and Isa Romantic. Now, if you're not familiar with Oklahoma horse racing, those are 2 pretty good fillies and mares that have ran here in the state before. So even though she's been running an allowance competition, it's definitely beat some of the top horses here at Remington Park in her last 2 tries. 6 victories in 10 previous tries at Remington Park. And as we mentioned, she's one of the richest horses in this race. She's made more than $320,000 coming into this race. So a well-accomplished horse, and coming from a hot barn and trainer Clint Crawford. Let's go with Send Me a Candy Tree for second. To round out the trifecta, let's take a look at number 7, Cruisin' the Wagon, as you see there in the $50,000 Easy Date Handicap. Cruisin' the Wagon, we saw earlier, has moved into the barn of trainer Eddie Willis after having a great career under the tutelage of Brent Clay. Jimmy Brooks will be aboard once again for the Reliance Ranches runner. 10 starts here at Remington Park, and only 1 time she's been outside of the top 3. She's registered 6 victories here at the Oklahoma City racetrack, 11 victories in her career, and she's made more than $333,000. So actually she's earned just a little bit more than Send Me a Candy Tree. But not sure what to think of that race last time out. It was a pretty competitive field in the Marial Challenge race here at Remington Park. And she was outrun by She's Just Toxic, who came in for Dean Fry, who's a very accomplished filly. But if you throw out that race, you go back to the Decada here at Remington Park, where she ran second behind Black Rosalita, actually got the better of Cool Wave in that race. If she can get a little bit better trip here today, breaking from an outside post position, I think she'll be a definite contender and one to watch, especially as she's the 2-to-1 favorite in the morning line. I do expect that to drift up a little bit, but it's hard to leave out a morning line favorite, especially when you have Jimmy Brooks and Eddie Willis attached to it. In the Easy Date Handicap, let's go with number 2, Cool Wave, number 4, Send a Candy Tree, and number 7, Cruisin' the Wagon to round out the trifecta in the $50,000 Easy Date Handicap for Oklahoma-bred fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up, set to go 350 yards. A co-feature here on Speedfest Day at Remington Park. Let's take a look now at the other co-feature here today, the $50,000 restricted Grade 3 Jack Brooks Stakes. It's for Oklahoma-bred, now just straight 3-year-olds here in this race, set to go 350 yards. We do have a scratch to pass along to you. Scratch number 1, Ground Hero. Number 1, Ground Hero is a scratch. That's going to leave us with a field of 9 here, set to go the 350-yard distance. Top choice, though, for me is going to come with number 7, PYC Can't Catch Me. This horse is coming out of the Judd Curl barn. You get a good look at him right there. A nice-looking son of PYC Paint Your Wagon out of the Disco Jerry Mare Wannabe Me. Rodrigo Vallejo will have the call for the 3rd consecutive time here. You're getting a look now at his last victory at Remington Park here, which was in the Remington Park Juvenile Stakes that came last year. He had won 5 consecutive races in his career and included a qualifying effort to the Grade 1 Texas Classic Futurity. That was the first time he was defeated and actually wasn't the favorite in that race. So obviously the betting public saw something that day in PYC Can't Catch Me, that he just couldn't come back there in the finals, and ended up running 3rd behind a very good bunch, including Valiant Little Lady and Big Boy, who's had some success here at Remington Park this year. PYC Can't Catch Me gets in a field of straight 3-year-olds here, and I think that's going to be to his benefit to kick off the 2013 campaign. Judd Curl is very good about placing his horses in the spots that they need to be in, and he's 3 for 3 here at Remington Park. Very hard to argue against that. He's broke from post 7 before Park and liked the racetrack that was in a qualifying effort for the Remington Park Oklahoma-bred Futurity last year. So all signs point to go for PYC Can't Catch Me, and you've got to like that morning line there at 5-1 for PYC Can't Catch Me, a winner of 5 races in 6 lifetime starts. Let's take a look now at number 8, Feature Hero, who's going to be my second choice here in this race. This one coming for Reliance Ranches LLC as well, and Eddie Willis. We mentioned that connection there before with Cruisin' the Wagon, getting a good look at the 3-year-old son of Valiant Hero there. This was his race in the Remington Park, Oklahoma bred Derby, I believe. Is that correct, Keith, where he ran second in that race, a $250,000 race, and really ran second to a very talented runner in Brace for Bernal, who will feature in the Thursday show, I believe. Feature hero out of the feature Mr. Jessmere legal feature has registered 1 victory here at Remington Park and 5 finishes inside the top 3 in 6 of those tries, but has made more than $124,000 in his career. This one was a qualifier to the Grade 1 Rainbow Fraternity last year and finished 4th. Jimmy Brooks, very familiar with this horse. He's the only rider that's ever been aboard him in 10 career starts. So let's use number 8, feature hero, for second. To round out the trifecta, going to take a bit of a long shot here with number 4, Louisiana Corona. You'll notice I'm leaving out the morning line favorite in Llano Cartel, but Louisiana Corona, a very good-looking daughter of Jess Louisiana Blue out of the first down dash mare Corona Cash. You talk about pedigree, this filly definitely has it. Last time out, winning a 350-yard allowance race with G.R. Carter aboard. This one coming into the race for trainer Luisa Villafranca, who's had a great 2013 Remington Park meeting. A little less accomplished here, has only made $30,000 in her career so far, but I think she's due for a very big effort. She's coming into this race on a 2-race win streak, so let's use number 4, Louisiana Corona, to round out the trifecta. Here's the recap in the Jack Brooks Stakes, the restricted Grade 3 event. Let's go with number 7, PYC Can't Catch Me, followed by Feature Hero and Long Shot Louisiana Corona in the morning line 6-1 to round out the trifecta. Going to head to another short break, but that's our handicapping segment for this week here on the Quarter Racing Update. We'll see you back here in just a few moments. Stay with us.
Race for Bernal won the $250,000 Remington Park Derby in April. Then, he and jockey Paul Nieto set the fastest qualifying time for the Grade 2 Heritage Place Derby, run next Saturday at RP. This Thursday, Paul Nieto visits the Quarter Racing Update live at 4:30 p.m. Central on RaceviewNetwork.com. Quarter Racing Update Remington Park is brought to you by the Oklahoma Quarter Horse Racing Association, Speed Horse Magazine, Juniors of Oklahoma City, by Racing Free, and by Oklahoma Equine Hospital.
Somewhere there's music, I'll faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven, how high the moon. There is no moon above when love's far away till it comes true. That you love me as I love you. Somewhere there's music, I'm there and far.
An official representative for horsemen in the state, the OQHRA administers race, benevolence, and scholarship programs, all to better the state of racing in the state of Oklahoma. Visit OQHRA.com.
And welcome back to the Quarter Racing Update. And don't forget, just a couple of shows remaining here in the 2013 Quarter Racing Update season. And one of our featured events is going to be, well, the feature event here at Remington Park on Saturday, June the 1st, the $1 million Heritage Place Fraternity. Ran trials a couple of weeks ago and some very, very talented 2-year-olds in that race. So be sure to join us on next Saturday, June the 1st, for the final special edition and the final episode for the Quarter Racing Update here at Remington Park. And today is Oklahoma Speed Fest Day here at Remington Park. 12 races on the Remington Park program. And we'll take a look once again at the rundown here of the races. The $50,000 FL Ladybug Stakes will kick off the stakes racing. The 9th race on the program for 2-year-olds, accredited Oklahoma breds that will go 330 yards. And then on to the co-feature, the $50,000 Easy Date Handicap, accredited Oklahoma bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, set to go 350 yards. And the other co-feature on the day, the $50,000 restricted Grade 3 Jack Brooks Stakes for 3-year-old Oklahoma breds, set to go 350 yards. A talented group of 3-year-olds in that race, including PYC Can't Catch Me, who's the top choice for me today from the Judd Curl Barn. Getting a look here at Llano Cartel, who was also in the race, coming out of the barn of trainer Alfredo Gomez. Last time out, 3rd in the Bob Moore Memorial Stakes, breaking from an inside post position. He'll have to overcome that same inside post again, the breaking from post number 3. Llano Cartel won a 110-yard race here. The blink of an eye purse was his most recent effort. Stretching back out to the 350-yard distance, we'll see how he does here today. And, of course, PYC Can't Catch Me, the 5-time winner in 6 starts in his career. a qualifier to the Grade 1 Texas Classic Futurity, and also a qualifier to the Heritage Place Futurity, who was the winner of the 2012 Remington Park Oklahoma bred juvenile. Definitely one of the top contenders here today in the Jack Brooks Stakes, the $50,000 event. Restricted Grade 3 for Oklahoma bred 3-year-olds, going 350 yards. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we do want to pass along that help for the tornado relief for all the horsemen here in the state of Oklahoma, specifically that were affected at Moore. By now, you've heard the stories coming from Celestial Acres, which was right in the path of that terrible storm last Tuesday. So here is all the information that you'll need for the Horsemen's Tornado Relief Fund if you choose to help out those horsemen involved in that terrible tragedy last week. You can send online donations via PayPal and use your credit card without a PayPal account. It is not necessary. Check the following links here: facebook.com/OklahomaQH Racing. You can also check it out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/RaceView Network, to get links to the PayPal. Or you can mail direct checks to the Oklahoma Quarter Horse Racing Association. That's OQHRA, P.O. Box 2907, Edmond, Oklahoma 73083. Read it once again. It's on your screen. The OQHRA, P.O. Box 2907, Edmond, Oklahoma 73083. Make sure you make it payable to the OQHRA Benevolence Fund and to put 2013 Tornado on the memo line. Any donations are greatly appreciated as we try to help these horsemen recover from the tragic events that occurred last week here in Oklahoma City and the Moore area. That's going to do it for our 4th special edition show here on the Quarter Racing Update. Don't forget, just 2 shows left. Be sure to join us at 4:30 Central Time on Thursday. Dale Day will be back to host the show and get a look at the Heritage Place Derby. And I'll be back on Saturday for the season finale of the Quarter Racing Update here at Remington Park as we highlight the Heritage Place Futurity, the featured event of the 2013 season here at Remington Park, the Heritage Place Futurity. On behalf of all of us here at the Quarter Racing Update, thanks for tuning in this morning. I'm Jesse Eulery, and we'll see you back here on the Update on Thursday. Good luck today.